road trip. Yes, sir. March of 2026. My, how time flies. Anyway, we are headed to Southern California to tunes of Willie Nelson. Unfortunately for me and you, we can't put Willie Nelson on here because of the whole copyright issue. But you can carry that tune in your head if you like. It's always the first one I play when I'm on the road. And that is something that I have really learned to love, is being on the road. There's a good sense of freedom, and I just love it. Especially when there's some good tunes in the background. Willie has got a good selection. Anyway, enough about him. So we're headed down to LA area for a couple of reasons. We've got two engines in the back right now, both 292s, both heading over to Wildomar, to a place called Goodwin Racing. I don't get any kind of compensation from these guys. I just really like them. I must, if I'm going to travel 7.5 road hours, to have them do engine work for me. So one engine back there is already rebuilt by this one other machine shop, but I'm not I have never run it, and I'm going to basically take it down there so that they can put the manifolds on it and run it, and just make sure that there's not going to be any issues. Because I had a scare with one of the other engines that I had rebuilt. I had all of those goodies on there, all the accessories. It was ready to stab, and then by chance I just did a compression test on it, and the first two cylinders were 25 psi. So that went into the machine shop, since that machine shop that built that for me some time ago is out of business. Anyway, long story short, I don't want to have an engine sitting around, especially if I'm not going to install it right away, and then find out sometime later, after I've installed it in a van, that something's wrong. I want to find out now. So they said it was going to be like a couple $100 to finish the assembly and then run it on the stand, break in that cam, that kind of stuff. So I'm just so slammed with work, I decided that I'm going to take that down. The other engine is a 292, that's a core. I got it out of a C10 pickup truck like a couple years ago, give or take. And I don't even know if it's worth rebuilding. It's basically what happens when you do a core, or buy a core. You don't get the luxury of taking it all apart. Got to listen to the story, see if it sounds good, and if so, pay the money and load it up. And then when you get a chance, take it out of the machine shop, and they'll be the ones to tell you whether or not it's worth the darn. The goal is I want either a stock bore or a 30,000s bore to start with, so that when they are done putting in new pistons and reborn it, that it's going to be 30 or 60. I know these 6 cylinders, they can have sleeves put in them, but I just do not have a good feeling for that. There can be local hot spots on those sleeves, and the last thing I need is anything that could possibly contribute to any kind of overheating, especially in these van applications, which are challenged for heat anyway. So same thing with the head, as far as the condition of the cylinder heads. You don't know if you got a crack until you pump it up. Matter of fact, that was one of the things that got found out during one of the engine run-ins. Apparently the crack was not detected during the Magnaflux. I don't know why. It opened up after it warmed up. It was, I think, a 194 head, which they seem to be prone to cracks. Regardless, it was a coolant passage. And as time goes on, I see more and more of these 194 heads that are prone to cracking. The reason I liked the 194s originally was that they have a little bit more closed combustion chamber, and they add about a half a compression ratio, give or take. But all of the 194, 230, 250, 292 heads are interchangeable, and that's why I collect those heads and then take them in and see if they're worth rebuilding or I can use them. Found out recently that the 292 heads originally had smaller valves. Yet another example of them governing the power on some of these engines. I mean, why the 292 292 head would have smaller valves than a 250. It's the only reason I can think of is that they're trying to limit the power but increase the longevity of those engines. And as far as my preference for engines in these vans, what I go for nowadays, I'm hooked on the 292s and also the 250s. The 250s are mostly for just plug and play because there's just very little any kind of modification that needs to be done in order to put a 250 in one of these vans. If there's a 6-cylinder in there already, which they normally have, you can just slam another one in there, another 250, and it's vastly superior to a 194, and a little better, well, quite a bit better than a 230, at least in my experience. So that's the current plan, is I'm dropping off 2 engines at Goodwin Racing, and I'm also picking up 2 engines that have been done already. Anyway, the 250s are real easy to install in any of the first or second gen vans, especially if they had a 6-cylinder in there originally, and if they had a V8, then there's not really much modification that's required. But in order to slam another engine into an otherwise good run-it, or not a good run-it, but a good Chevy van, 250s are real easy. So we're going to put one of them in our wedgie van. That's our 69 panel, which has been across the country a few times, and I'm going to have one spare. So we'll have more engines that we're trying to do to stock up on, because we want to be able to offer them, and we also want to have a high level of assurance that any engine that comes out of my shop has been thoroughly tested. It's not going to have any kind of issues. And not only that, the pool of people who are able to do this type of work is shrinking. A lot of these guys are old, or they're just getting out of the business, and it's not back to the 5th. It's not something that is getting easier to find. So I want to make sure that when I get a new engine in my Chevy vans and I start driving these in 5 years, 10 years, hopefully I can still be driving them that long from now. If something happens and the engine takes a dump, I've got a spare cylinder head, I've got a spare engine, and I don't have to go through the hassle of pulling the old engine out and then trying to get decent machine work, assembly, testing, in order to, and then have somebody else reinstall it. Because in another 10, 15 years, maybe less time than that, I'm not going to be able or interested in doing this kind of work. I want to have it ready to go, just point to a new engine and say, this is the one that you guys need to install. Can you guys handle that? Just swapping out engines so that I can keep on trucking for many years to come. Anyway, the other thing we got in the back is a set of equipment change. Stakes come along in order to be able to move a van that probably is not going to run, move it up onto a trailer that probably doesn't have a winch on it. And that is where I'm going to be helping out 66 Beach Cruiser Jose, who just bought a 64 panel, and we're going to go and pick that up in San Diego and then take that to this place in Thousand Oaks, which is a few hours away depending on the traffic. We'll have a U-Haul truck and auto transport. I'm not going to use my tow dolly, which is another thing that I'm doing on this run down there, is picking up my tow dolly. It's been at Kooky's for 2 years. So with two long blocks in the back, the 2 that I plan on picking up, I'm not going to be towing a trailer. I mean, I'm not going to tow a van with that. This poor Ranger. Just got to have a little bit more respect for it. Anyway, The other part that I have in the back is a straight axle. This is one that has been refurbished, remanufactured, rebuilt. I don't know what you call it when you put in a set of kingpins. This is something that I also sublet. I take it to a place called Hewitt Alignment in Stockton, and they don't use any heat to press these things out. You never want to run heat on these straight axles. And it's also got the Moog kingpins, which are exceedingly hard to find. At this point, I'm a buyer at $250 a piece for a Moog model 8494B, which are the bronze type kingpin bushings. They do offer a similar type replacement through rare parts, but I've got a separate video on that. I do not prefer those. It's not my first choice. And they also have Moog 8494N, which is the nylon or Delrin type bushings. The old school guys, and I guess that's me, prefer the bronze type bushings in the kingpins, but from my experience, at least half, if not more, of the kingpin bushings that came in our vans originally were the nylon, were the non-bronze kingpins. So they're perfectly good, but I just prefer the bronze. So anyway, that's the story. I don't know anything else that's in the back. We're going to be picking up some stuff besides the two 250 engines. We've got a straight axle that is supposedly bent, and gosh, I don't know what else. I think that's it. Oh, yeah, the hinges. We've got a line on a fabricator that supposedly can get these hinges overhauled, and he's got some kind of pin that is better than anything that's listed on the literature that we have there at through the Vintage Chevy Van Club or any of the other forums. So we're taking a boatload of these front door hinges down, and we're going to drop them off in. Hopefully we get back a whole load of really good overhauled front door hinges. So the other thing is drop off at a visit to Burkhart, Michael Burkhart, who has Burkhart's Detail a Go-Go, and he's got some parts for me to pick up, and so we're going to make the rounds. Let's go. There it is, traffic on the Grapevine. Somebody sneezed or did something, and now they got an accident up ahead or something, who knows. One thing for sure, it's still nice and green and still beautiful. This is just the start of the grade going into the LA area, the whole basin area, part of what traps all of that bad air. Anyway, let's keep on going. We're making good time. Clear skies and easy going. Okay, we made our first stop, dropped off those 292s and got a couple of pretty 250s in the back. Now we're off to drop off a straight axle, and from there it's to pick up my tow dolly. That's right. After that, it's off to Jose's. So far, so good.